This continues VM Informer's video series on virtual computing. In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain the risks of virtualization and a technical overview. So let's get started. Virtual computing has been embraced by server teams and IT infrastructure personnel because it offers flexibility and significant cost savings. Provisioning and management of systems and devices is almost instantaneous. Huge infrastructures can be run by smaller teams. But what are the security risks? Virtual environments are not less secure than physical ones, but there is an extra dimension of risk that needs to be managed differently. The majority of risks in virtual computing are human factors. Busy server teams have a huge volume of information to manage and a myriad of settings to control. It's an impossible task to get the necessary visibility across the whole virtual computing platform. Sometimes security is perceived as somebody else's responsibility and something that gets in the way of daily business. When you're busy, you don't have the time for complete maintenance. Why fix something that ain't broke? Time and visibility is the problem again. High-risk attributes remain unknown. Virtual computing is consolidated, unaudited and self-regulated. And finally, there is overconfidence in physical security tools running a virtualized environment. In addition to human risk factors, we need to consider the environment in which virtual computing has developed. Virtualization always begins with a low-risk test in deployment systems. In the next stage, it gets deployed into production, mission-critical and internet-exposed systems. All these virtual machines operate on a single shared platform, which often has not had a security review since its first deployment. Traditional security tools, where they're virtualized themselves, treat the virtual environment from the perspective of the virtual machines being physical computers. These tools do an important job and properly configured afford some, but not complete protection. The virtual network is not as transparent as a traditional network. You need to ensure that each virtual machine type exists in its own trust zone, that there are no mechanisms of exposure between systems and business assets. Additionally, there are alternative ways that systems can interact. These transactions don't go through the network or the firewall. Guest to guest, guest to host, and host to host, for example. If your infrastructure team are relying on firewalls and the security team are relying on the infrastructure team, you might have a problem. Virtualization administration software is powerful, and nothing like it exists in a traditional computing environment. Many attributes can be quickly and usefully managed by the administration software. Of course, a simple misconfiguration can manifest itself many times. This is common. After all, human error rates are typically 1 to 2%, and there are hundreds or thousands of changes made daily. The problem is compounded by no segregation of duties and lack of visibility in auditing. Would you like to know that settings are correctly configured, or where the security guideline has not been followed? Where virtual machines are stored is another important consideration. If internet-exposed machines share the same storage space as internal servers, this is not good practice. Virtual machines can be easily moved. If you have to account for where credit card or privacy records are kept, you need to accurately report their location, a critical consideration for some audits. As we've discussed, traditional tools for IT security and audit treat guest and host machines as if they're physical computers. You shouldn't rely on these tools alone. You need to audit and assess the security posture more regularly because there is less visibility of connections, greater access to the whole computing environment, and systems are self-regulated. There are too many things to check without the use of automated tools. Audit and security checks need to incorporate all the relevant manufacturer hardening guides and the relevant industrial, regulatory and statutory controls. In a virtual computing, the administration teams need more visibility and comprehensive overview to do their job more efficiently. It's a false economy to do anything else. Good security need not be a limiting or constraining factor. Indeed, it should enable greater efficiency and safer deployment. In the end, it will save your organisation money with greater virtualization deployment. VM Informer is designed to provide organisations with remediation advice for their virtual infrastructure. It is easy to deploy and use and instantly provides visibility and peace of mind. If you want to know more, please visit us at vminformer.com. Thanks for watching.